we're seeing money starting to flow back into crypto, and the tides are shifting in favor of the altcoins. Since we're talking alts and capital movement, let's dig into XLM, HBAR, and XRP's price action. Plus, fair warning, I might say a few things that sound a little spicy. Right now, the market is showing a mix of red and green. Funding is flowing in, and I've linked all the details down below if you want to track it yourself. But before we get into the money side of things, yeah, baby, those Benjamins, your comments always come first because this channel is about you, the viewers. Cryptoism said, "Thanks for not making us watch that Sailor video." Don't tempt me. I've got another AI Michael Saylor video ready to go. Mr. Congested Command Man joked, "The AI version is missing his rodent teeth." Love it. Now, let's look at the heat map. Most cryptos seem to have found a bottom. XRP is only down 0.47% in the last 24 hours. BNB is flat, Bitcoin slightly green, Ethereum slightly green, and Doge and TRX are up just a touch. So what's fueling this? Venture capital. This week alone, crypto VC funding hit nearly $235 million. Rain pulled in $58 million in their Series B. OrangeX grabbed $20 million, Suzaku raised $1.5 million, and Almanac secured $2.5 million. Why does that matter? Because if this much capital is flowing in before we even get lower interest rates or regulations, just imagine how much more is waiting on the sidelines for when rates drop and regulations arrive. On a rolling 4-week average, we're talking about roughly $1 billion coming into crypto through VC. Not bad, but it could be much bigger. Jerome Powell can only kick the can down the road for so long. Once the Fed finally cuts, the wave of capital entering this space is going to be massive. And it's not just VC money. ETH ETFs have quietly logged $4 billion in August net inflows, actually outperforming Bitcoin ETFs. Did anyone have ETH beating Bitcoin on their crypto bingo card? Because right now, ETH is pulling ahead. That shift has institutions asking themselves, should we have bought billions in ETH instead of just loading up on BTC? Zoom out and you'll notice inflows into ETH are rising while Bitcoins are slipping. The market is pivoting, warming up to ETH, and my take is that alts are next in line. Now, let's check in on some Degen World fun. On Polymarket, XRP ETF approval odds for 2025 are sitting at 87%. But the idea of XRP being used as a US reserve currency? Only 5% chance right now. Other markets? MicroStrategy being forced to liquidate BTC in 2025 is sitting at just 7%. These prediction markets are interesting to watch, just to see how sentiment is shifting. Market volume, even on a Saturday, is still strong 131 billion in the last 24 hours, even though that's down 32%. Now let's look at HBAR. On the 1-year chart, the July pump is fading, but we're still holding a good chunk of those gains. The question is whether we're looking at a 25-cent floor or closer to 22. Honestly, 25 has been too soft. HBAR hasn't spent much time above it. The majority of the year has been below that level. Recent moves are eroding, and in the past 7 days, HBAR is down 11%. In the past month, it's down 12%. That's pressure. Still, I remain bullish for September. The alts haven't had their moment yet. ETH and BTC got the green light, but clarity for alts is still coming. Over to XLM. After that huge July pump, it's lost about half its gains. From a July 24-cent low up to 48 cents, but now back down into the mid-30s. The peaks at 46 cents aren't holding anymore. Same story as HBAR, the July rally is eroding, but I think alts will get momentum at the end of September, not the beginning. Why? Because the next FOMC meeting is September 17th, and the market usually waits for Powell before making its move. And XRP? Different chart. Its big move came the week after XLM and HBAR. We saw it push to 3.65, but now it's back at 2.81. Again, profits were taken. That's how big players work. They sell into the hype around ETFs, rate cuts, and regulations. With an 87% chance of ETF approval in 2025, the manipulation cycles are obvious. Pump, dump, reload. If September doesn't bring the clarity we want, then maybe October does. Either way, the market knows a rebound is coming. The big money is buying in cheap right now, waiting for those catalysts. Here's the bigger story. The alt market is maturing. Coins aren't all moving in lockstep with Bitcoin anymore. HBAR and XLM pumped one week, XRP the next. ETH has broken free with ETF momentum. Even CRO made moves based on its own news. This is what a maturing market looks like. So when rate cuts hit, that lifts everyone. But when regulations arrive, that's when the altcoins really benefit. Bitcoin doesn't need clarity, it already has it. That's why we're seeing money rotate from BTC to ETH, and soon from ETH into the alts. So, not choo-choo Bitcoin, not even choo-choo Ethereum. The next big move? Choo-choo altcoins, baby.